Welcome to episode 54 of the Family Geekery podcast. I'm Amber.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to talk about the Renaissance Fair. We all went to one this weekend, so we're going to talk about it. We've got some interviews up and stuff, but first, let's talk about our weeks. Well, week and weeks for Danny. We missed you last week. How you doing?
Doing good. I forget what I was doing last week, but I was at the beach. I did.
Must have been exciting.
Oh yeah, so exciting. I don't think I've done much this week. I think I'm the only one not playing Dreamlight Valley.
But you watch us play.
I do.
And you were decorating Mom's house and her outfits.
Yeah, I was centering her furniture.
That's not an easy task.
It's
no,
not.
It's not.
It's not like The Sims. The Sims is easy to center.
True. It's all grid system, and you can't cheat the grid like you can in Sims.
Yeah. Other than that, I've just been playing Dead by Daylight and Fortnite. So, as you can tell, I play the same games. I don't really venture out.
I saw you online on League the other day.
Oh yeah, I do play that I only play that when my friends are on. Not really a solo queue kind of League person. But
not many of us are.
That's about it for me.
Nice.
What about you, Amber?
Well, I did something that I'm pretty proud of. I beat Portal.
Woohoo!
Finally, it took me like 6 years. I started playing Portal a very long time ago, got stuck, but then and also it was family shared, and somebody doesn't stop playing Cookie Clicker at all, so I
I'm not good at sharing.
So I couldn't access his Steam library anymore. But, you know, the Portal games were on like a 99-cent sale a couple months ago, so picked them up. Finally sat down and finished Portal, and now I'm on to Portal 2.
Nice. Classic games.
Yeah. You know, looking back at what I failed on before, it was easy. It was just hit the little guys with the barrel. So
You think you're smarter in the past 6 years?
I've definitely gotten smarter in the past 6 years.
That's interesting. So I'm from the standpoint that I'm probably getting dumber as I get older.
Well, you're past your prime.
Yeah.
We're not 25 yet.
I'm gonna have to go back as like a litmus test and see if I can beat Portal 1. And if I don't, then I'll just say, okay, I guess it's just time to give up. I'll go get my my popcorn, sit in my easy chair, slurp my Slurpees, and watch Andy Griffith reruns.
Nice. I mean, that's not a bad life.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Cool. So, anything else?
Besides checking in on Dreamlight Valley once a day to buy new stuff in the shop, nope.
Yeah, I've been playing that also. I'm at the point that I'm past all the quests, so I'm just waiting for another update, I guess. And in the meantime, also playing a tiny bit of Tears of the Kingdom.
Nice.
I'm still on the starter island, so I haven't gotten very far.
Maybe that's your test.
But
Maybe you don't need to go back and play Portal.
I did push a boulder over a hill and kill somebody, so I was pretty...
Yay.
Well, it was a robot. I didn't kill a person. It was a robot.
There's robots in Legend of Zelda?
I think so. They've got a special name.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than that, we did the geekiest thing we probably did was went to the local Renaissance Fair. This is one that we've been to a couple times before. And we went Saturday, Danny and I went. And then Sunday, Amber went.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about that a little bit. Talk about our experience this go around. I know we did an episode last year about it. But this one's going to be a little bit different because we're going to talk about what they mean to the greater public. And we've got some interviews. I was able to interview a couple passersby that we met. And then I was also able to interview a vendor and kind of get their side of the story of what the Renaissance fairs mean to them and what they think it means to other people. So we'll play those interviews in a little bit. But first, let's talk about the one that we went to. So who wants to go first? Tell me your favorite thing that you saw at the Renaissance Fair this year.
I saw dogs.
Dogs, all right.
Dogs doing tricks.
Did they look like they were enjoying themselves, or were they...
Oh, they had a blast. So this performer goes by the name of Circus Stella, and it's a dog show where he trains his rescue puppies to do cool tricks, and he also does some tricks himself. It's just so much fun to watch. It was the first thing I did, and it's just a blast. And he did just say that he is buying a tent. He's going to set up a tent, and I guess stop traveling or not travel as much, and have all of his revenue go to like donate to dog shelters and animal shelters and stuff. I hope I got those details right. I don't want to like get him in trouble, but yeah, I am honestly super happy that he's able to do that, and really happy for the animals that he's going to help. So that was the favorite thing that I saw when I went. It was awesome. I mean, it's only 30-minute shows, how they have it time chunked out, but you can get a lot of entertainment in those 30 minutes.
Cool. How about you, Danny?
My favorite thing was seeing all the vendors. I think they're all really creative. It's like a Comic-Con, but instead of comic books, it's like Renaissance cosplay and art and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's really cool. Because a lot of them put a lot of effort and creativity and probably money into these costumes, and they look awesome. So that's really cool. But my favorite show that we watched was they're called Sibling Rivalry, and they're just a group of siblings who all play multiple instruments, and they do like song covers, and they have some originals which are kind of funny, and they're very charismatic, and they put on a good show, and it's good. It's really talented for their age, and they even have their own album. I think that's really impressive. So they put on a good show.
I've got a funny story. So I saw them also, and well, the person I went with, we were walking away from the stage because they played right after Circus Stella. So we just, stayed and watched because I saw them last year and I really liked them. So I wanted to see them again. As we're walking away, we're like, oh, what do you think this? Like, do you think this about them? Like, just kind of like, oh, this person might have started playing first and blah, blah, blah. And I turn around and one of the siblings is right behind me and I'm like, oh. And then
Nice.
we kind of veer off and the three other of them, they walk past us and I'm like, oops. I mean, we said all good things, but it was just uh-oh.
Their radar was on. They knew you were talking about them. Yeah, I saw them last year also, and then sat through them again this year. Always a pleasure to see musicians that not only enjoy playing, but their whole thing is that they try to influence young people to learn how to play. So at the end of the little show, they said, if anybody out there wants to learn, then please do. Or if anybody out there knows someone that's trying to learn, help them any way that you can. So I thought that's a pretty cool message at the end of the show to kind of help influence young people, pick up an instrument, because it's definitely good for you.
Yeah, they also said, at least in our show, that it's never too late to pick up an instrument and start to learn. So
Yeah.
I like that. I like that message.
They said that for ours too, which I think that's just a good like lesson in life in general. Like you can pick up anything at any age and have fun with it. And I think that's really cool that they preach that. I think that's cool.
When I turn 80, I'm going to pick up knife throwing.
You're going to put down the popcorn bucket.
Yep. And I'm going to ask you guys to be my helpers. Wear like an apple on your head or something.
Yeah, you could have gotten a head start at the Ren Fair.
Yeah, 3 knives for $1 or something.
Well, you saw what I did with the beanbag or the rat.
Rat? What?
We threw rats. I threw
Whoa.
Chunky. His name was Chunky.
Wait, real rats?
Yeah.
They were stuffed rats.
Oh, wait, real stuffed rats?
Yeah, absolutely real.
100% rats.
Real stuffed rats.
The guy running it was like, I'd suggest you aim for the lower buckets so that you don't hit the top of the tent. So I went first and I went for the lower buckets and I like almost got it in. And then Dad goes, okay, I'm gonna try for the upper buckets. And he threw it over the tent.
Oh no, Chunky.
Like the lip of the tent is like at 5'5" probably. So he says you got to squat down and throw it up under the upper lip and then into the upper bucket was like above the lower lip of the tent. So it was going to be hard, but I didn't know I was going to throw it up over the tent.
Oh my gosh.
Don't worry, he was retrieved.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't win a prize.
Maybe you'll have better luck at the rubber ducky stand.
Yeah, I always win those.
What was your favorite thing?
Yeah, so I enjoyed the music and of course the vendors, like Danny was saying. Always neat to see. You got everything from artists to writers to just general merchandise merchants, people that make things out of wood, people that make things out of metal, just all kinds of artisans, and it's just great to see the variety of stuff out there, and seeing how much that craft means to them, and then in turn how much their crafts mean to the people that are there, buying them. So
yeah,
neat stuff. So with that in mind, we thought it would be neat to find out what these Renaissance fairs means to other people. So I happened to bring along with me a little interview set and wanted to test it out. So we cornered some people, asked if it would be okay if we talked to them for a minute about what Renaissance fairs means to them. And I didn't know what to expect answer-wise, but I was very pleased with what we got. So let's take a listen to a couple of interviews. And like I said, we're just here with Family Geekery Podcast, and we're talking to people out here in the Renaissance Fair and asking you guys what you guys love about Renaissance Fairs. What are you doing here today?
I think really what draws me out most is the whimsical nature of it all. There's a lot of cool vendors out here, firstly, so a lot of neat things to buy. I didn't happen to have a costume, but my friend here and I kind of thought that we were going to make our costume as we went along, and frankly just go and try out all the cool stuff here. I've been to one Renaissance Fair prior, but it's nice to go and see different Renaissance fairs across the nation because there's always a little bit of difference between them all. And frankly, it always draws everyone out here. It's always a nice big crowd. They're very popular attractions. So you typically meet some really cool people while you're out here too. So I think ultimately that's what it boils down to for me. It's those core components.
That's cool. And you do have some friends that are dressed up. Tell me about your costumes. What are you dressed up like?
Fairy.
Fairy?
Yeah. A pirate.
Pirate? Pirates are popular out here.
Medieval peasant.
A medieval
Peasant.
Peasant, okay. So you came with your costume already because you know you can't afford the pieces in there, right? Well, very good. Well, enjoy your time out here. I can smell the food already.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too.
So we are, I'm Chris, and this is my daughter Danielle. We're from the Family Geekery Podcast. You can just hold on this right here.
I am Ulfric Thomason.
Oh, that's a great name.
So, Ulfric. Do you know what Ulfric means in Norse?
No.
Wolf.
Wolf. That explains.
Goes with the wolf designs all over my armor.
That's fantastic armor.
Thank you.
So what do you love about coming here to these fairs?
Just it's like a family. Those of us who come quite often. This is my third weekend in a row I've come to a fair. I was in here a couple weeks ago, New Jersey last week, and then again here in Virginia this week.
Awesome.
You can see several of us. I'm a member of the Horde, Eastern Tribe of the Horde.
Okay.
And we just travel around mostly the East Coast into the Midwest to fairs, and it's just like family.
Absolutely. Well, great. I hope you guys have a great day out here, and have safe travels.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, so sorry for taking so long to get set up, but like I said, we're from Family Geekery Podcast. We just wanted to ask you real quick how you guys are loving this Renaissance Fair and why you guys come out to these. What do you enjoy about them?
I love all of the visual imagery. You know, I love walking around, seeing people in costume. It's always like the most fun part about it. This is my first time actually. I came here because somebody else told me, hey, you should really come to a Renaissance Fair. I think you'd have a lot of fun.
Is that a nice way of saying you're kind of geeky?
Yeah, I guess I could say that.
Okay. And you're in good company then.
Yeah, definitely. You want to say something?
Yeah, this has been my second time coming here, and I like just seeing, like, this is the time, like, anyone can be really anything they want to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I like watching people get to explore that, because I think it's, like, a very vibrant culture here, and yeah, sometimes we also get to see a little bit of our geekness go out.
Yeah.
Where we're like, oh my gosh, it's a sword. that was a whole conversation today with swords and skulls. Yeah. Which is something that you don't get to do in everyday conversation, which is nice.
Yeah, it's always cool seeing the effort going on in everybody's costumes, especially.
Yeah, you would not believe how long it took me to assemble this outfit here.
Right.
Like all of 4 minutes. But thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your time here.
Of course. You as well.
Okay, so I'm Chris. This is Danielle. And together with my other daughter, Amber, we have a podcast called Family Geekery.
Fantastic!
And we've been here today talking to some of the guests, asking them what they love about Renaissance fairs. And we wanted to talk to a vendor, and they said that this would be the vendor to talk to.
Oh my gosh!
So give me a little information about who you are, what this is.
So touching. So what I do is I go out and I thrift, and I go to various. I thrift all over the States because I do a lot of traveling for other jobs that I do.
Okay.
This is my full-time thing. So I'll go out and I'll look for secondhand goods, and I'll find something that looks like, oh, that's got a Renaissance kind of feel to it. Or sometimes it looks like maybe a fairy would like to wear that. Or I also do events where there's like a very fun, like pagan vibe going on, and it works for that crowd. And so I get it. If it needs repair, I do my best. And so I mark up for my time and my overhead. But if I get a deal on something, I make sure to pass that deal to my customers.
That's great.
And it's a great way to recycle. Sometimes people will come in and be like, hey, I outgrew these bodices. Can I trade out? Yes, you can. Because I love also fostering a sense of community with what I do. And that's one of the reasons I love the Renaissance Fair so much, is that you might not know somebody's name, but you know their face. And you've probably known them for 20 years if you've been doing it this long, which crazily enough I have. And everybody is so kind to each other. You don't always see that in the world these days. But if you are fair family, you're fair family. And it means a lot to be part of that as well.
Great. Yeah, the people that we've talked to, we've heard the term family and community a lot, and this certainly seems to be the most accepting environment that you could ever imagine. I've been going to these fairs since I was this tall.
That's awesome. And I see you're bringing a new generation into it as well.
Got to. Got to.
And that's fantastic. And I especially love spoiling young folks that are getting into this because I upcharge for my time and my overhead. I don't mind giving a little bit of time to them. So when, young folks are just getting into it, or they're showing who they are as a person. I enjoy facilitating that, and I do my best to make that possible for them.
That's great.
And that's the joy of it. When years ago I was at an event and there was a young woman who had sort of a boyish haircut and sort of that gawky teenage, early teen kind of atmosphere surrounding her, still finding who she was. And I had this ridiculous over-the-top 80s prom dress, and it was taffeta, and it was like Gone with the Wind / Tim Burton,
Oh, wow.
It was this black and white. It was ridiculous. And she tried it on just for funsies. You could tell it was like, and she turned around and looked in the mirror and she burst into tears. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Are you okay? She's like, this is the first time I've ever felt beautiful. So now I'm crying and she's crying. And I made absolutely certain that she went home with that dress because it meant more than, it wasn't just the dress. There was a whole direction suddenly that she could see in front of her that just was like, man, this is why I do this.
That's
right
great.
there.
And what percentage of your year do you spend in this environment?
So this is my biggest show. This Virginia Renaissance is my biggest, and it's 5 weekends. I try to do at least one show a month. And if you ask anybody that knows me, I do this full time. I mean, I probably put 70 hours a week into my job, but I only see sales maybe once a weekend.
Sure.
So it's an ongoing thing for me. And as you can see, on a busy weekend here, we're really busy.
Yeah, it's great.
This is a month of sales in one day, for me, which is great because it also helps me pay my employees very well.
That's good.
Because that's the other part of it is that I get to hire amazing, talented, intelligent women, and occasionally men will come and work for me, but for the most part, it just seems that so far I've had a majority of women that I get to pay them for their time appropriately because they deserve that.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so
and
much.
The other vendor that pointed us in this direction was exactly correct of who we needed to talk to.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If right now my website is down, but if you want to say hi, you can get me at instagram.com/trinketscostumes.
Trinkets Costumes.
Trinkets Costumes.
All right, so what did you guys think about the interviews? I know, Danny, you were there, but Amber, you got to listen to that for the first time. What was your takeaway from what we heard from the people?
It's just crazy how welcoming everybody is, and the interviewees touched on that. It's just like a place where freaks can be freaks, and I love that. Like if you want to dress up as like a peasant, dress up like a peasant. If you want to dress up like a fairy, you can do that, and people are happy to see you and take pictures with you and stuff. I liked how the one person was saying how they tried to like put their costume together as they got there, and I know that's like a trend that people on TikTok do a lot when it's Ren-a-Fair season. And I was like, maybe I could do that too. All I walked away with was a pair of earrings, but they're pretty earrings, so
One piece down.
one piece, a lot to go. But like even just like walking through the booths and seeing all of the like crazy handmade stuff, like leather work and metal work, it's all so crazy. I love it.
And what about you, Danny? I know you heard those before, but what'd you pick up on hearing those again?
Well, it's very crazy how similar the answers were of the first three like guests that we talked to, and they're right. Like it is very like welcoming environment. Like, just standing around, like, people are constantly complimenting each other's outfits and all this stuff. Like, I wasn't even wearing a costume, and I was wearing, like, this hat that said Silly Goose on it. I got, like, 2 or 3 compliments on it. I'm like, "Thank you." And, like, even without a costume, like, people are complimenting, and all the vendors are so nice, and especially the vendor that we talked to, she was so nice, and like her store like was busy, like she was very popular, and for her to make time for us, that was very nice. And it's also nice that she, like, her store is like a thrift store for Renaissance, and like that's awesome because some people, they're lucky and they can buy their $150 piece of leather, and some people can't. So her store is made for that, and it's great for people to be able to dress up on a budget, and it's really cool of what she does.
I wish I had seen that. I must have not gone in.
Yeah,
I was drawn to shinies. I saw shinies. I walked in.
we should have told you where she was and
Yeah.
had you visit.
Hey, I'm the third one. You talked to my dad and sister yesterday.
But yeah, just like everybody else has picked up on the sense of community, the sense of acceptance. I mean, I couldn't imagine any place else where you would see, someone dressed up like a pirate, someone dressed up like a Norse, Viking, complete with like battle scars and blood, and then a Doctor Who, a fantastic looking Doctor Who was there, and then even a family of 3 that most definitely made these T-shirts for Disney, but wore them to the Renaissance Fair, and the T-shirts were all in Star Wars font, and it said like "Galaxy's best dad," "Galaxy's best mom." I didn't see what the kids said, but I mean, I wouldn't think to wear a Star Wars themed outfit to a Renaissance Fair, but I didn't judge them one iota, and I doubt anybody else did. That just everybody is welcome and everybody fits in, no matter what you're wearing.
Yeah, I saw someone dressed as like a deer satyr. It was so cool. Like they had like super blush cheeks with like white little freckles like a deer does, I guess. But then they actually had like the furry leg hoof things. I was like, how do you even do that? Like,
Wow.
what?
Like Mr. Thomas?
Yeah, like it's crazy.
I saw a fin from Adventure Time.
What? I
Yeah,
mean, and these are just the people who attend for fun, right? There's also the employees, like the Renaissance performers, like the Queen and the Knights and the Queen's ladies and stuff. And I don't know how I mean, it was nice this weekend, but I don't know how when it gets hotter later in the summer, how they dress like that and all the layers they must be wearing. And like, they are just still putting on their British accents and, knighting little kids. Like it's crazy. It just blows my mind.
And all the volunteers, all the people that aren't vendors and stuff, they're all volunteers, unpaid. The people helping the cars park, and people directing traffic, the people telling you where to go and staying in complete character the whole time. We even asked, what was it, the third people that we interviewed, I even asked them if they were volunteers first, because they were dressed up, and I wasn't sure if they were volunteers or if they were just there, enjoying the day.
Wow. And they like camp out? Like they have tents and RVs like on site?
Did you see them?
So the performers and vendors that are going to be there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
That's where they live for, the 5 weeks.
It's insane. Commitment. Yeah.
And then they travel up and down, probably these people are all East Coast people that travel up and down the East Coast and go to different cities and make a life out of it. So a little envious with that. But yeah, we just wanted to, touch base on this Renaissance Fair. I know we did that episode last year, but this one we wanted to get more so, instead of like a trip report, more so a vibe from what they mean to everybody. And it seems like there's a common theme as to why everybody goes there.
Mm-hmm.
And can't we just extend that out to the rest of the world and make the world a better place?
Yeah. Us freaks, we should be welcome anywhere.
Freaks
Turn
will
the
rule the world.
entire world into Ren Fair. That may be a little much, but it would be fun. It'd be good if we could take that mentality and spread it to more things.
Maybe if we just take one state by force.
What?
Or is that going too far?
I think next Comic-Con we should all show up. Instead of cosplay, we should all show up dressed like medieval knights. That'd be epic.
But there's probably a comic of that genre that people will just assume, oh, hey, they're here representing such and such comic.
Fine, we could be fairies then. I mean, I did notice that there's a lot of like overlap between like the Comic-Con crowd and the Ren Fair crowd. Like I've seen at Comic-Cons, like lots of people have little dragons and stuff that they craft. And at the Ren Fair, I saw a lot of crochet things, and there's a lot of that going on at Comic-Cons. It's cool, like how some of these people could maybe be at both places and like have a good crowd.
We're at both places.
We are at both places. We're at every place.
And I spend just as much effort dressing up for the Comic-Cons as I do for the Ren Fairs.
Next year, we're going all out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be Spy Family. I've never seen that.
We'll have to wear our Disney 2021 shirts.
I have still got mine.
Me too.
It's
in the drawer.
Can I be Stobe Thorson?
Stobe Thorson. Oh my gosh, they had real life dragons at this Ren Fair. I couldn't believe it.
The people in there inside the dragon place kept calling them birds.
Yeah, I don't know
why they kept calling them birds. Like they're dragons.
Maybe that's their nicknames.
It's like how they call tigers kitty cats. It's just like that.
Cool. Anything else about Ren Fairs you want to talk about, girls, before we close this one out?
Go to your local Ren Fair. You'll have a blast. You may not think it's your thing, but once you're there, oh my gosh, it's incredible. And even if you just go for funnel cake, like, it might be expensive funnel cake, but you'll have a good time.
Like anybody needs an excuse for funnel cake.
Yeah, exactly.
In one honorable mention to there's this one setup. This guy had forgot what he called it, Renaissance Arcade or something.
Oh, yeah.
Da Vinci's Arcade?
Yeah, Da Vinci's Arcade. It was a bunch of large-scale wood, like, arcade games. And it was amazing.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's the first time I've ever seen that, so must be new. Shout out to him for sure.
Yeah.
Support your local arcades, even if they are made of wood.
I mean, aren't arcade cabinets made of wood?
Especially if they're made of all wood.
Okay.
Okay.
Acoustic arcades.
Nice. All right, well, I think that's going to wrap up this episode about Ren Fairs. Hope you guys listening out there have found one nearby to you that you can go visit. And hope you enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah.
All right, so be sure to check out the socials, check out the YouTube channel, see what's going on there. And until next time, peace out.
Peace out. And geek out.
Geek out.
And God save the Queen.
Huzzah. Thank you for listening to the Family Geekery podcast. For more information, visit www.familygeekery.com. Don't forget to subscribe at your favorite podcast provider. And until next time, peace out and geek out.